We've got two incredible agents who already hit monster goals, and we're not even halfway through the year. We're going to talk about what it means next. So if you get some value out of this or you like what you hear, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and if you want to schedule a call with our team about how we can help you achieve your goals, you can do that with the link in the comments. Zahra and Ed, we've been very grateful to work with both of these awesome agents for a long time, and you guys just hit your goals for the year, and it's not even the end of June. So first of all, how exciting is that? Tell us about how you got there. This is really important because goal setting works when you actually believe in it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I kind of set this goal, like a year or so ago with you and during our business plan meeting. And every year I tend to have like a new goal. So when I first started, it was to buy a brand new car because my car was ugly. So every year I try to have like different goals. So this year I was like, I really want to buy a home. So that was something I was working up to. And it was nice because, I have my desk to be able to look at it. Like, yeah, this is what I'm saving money for. This is what I'm setting for myself.
That's incredible. So you look at this goal every day.
Yeah.
Did you share it with anybody else besides me?
Yeah, we probably talked about it maybe like 500 times, and our group of friends. So they got real sick of us.
Well, I think that the reason that's important is because when you talk about it, does it feel like it puts like a little pressure on you to actually make it happen?
Exactly, because then you kind of just look like a liar,
For sure, I love that. What was the goal, by the way?
To buy a house,
right? Ed was in the same boat, right? So we talked about this when we first met. So how have you verbalized that and taken that from something you wanted to do to actually making it happen?
Kind of like what you said, when you talk about it, you're putting more pressure on yourself and honestly wanting to talk it into existence. I've been talking about this for 10 years, honestly, wanting to buy a multifamily for my first property, and I settle in the house next week. So I'm really looking forward to that. And like you said, it puts pressure on you.
So obviously, like, you guys hit the goal, and I'm more excited than probably you are that this happens, because a lot of agents, they don't stick with it long enough. They don't actually build a career in this business. What were some of the things that kept you going? Because it's not easy doing this stuff. Like, what kept you going besides looking at this and talking to people? What kept you on track to make this happen?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you just have a motivation overall, that's what really drives you, So that can make me want to, call people, get in front of people, get deals, get money to get to that goal eventually, So I feel like just having that main motivator along the way has helped.
Love it.
Yeah, that. And once you see like what a house actually costs, where you want to live and those things, we do it all the time. And once you see it, you're helping buyers do it. Now we have a better understanding, and you need to make money. So that's why we needed to get deals, make those conversations, make things happen.
And I also felt kind of hypocritical where my entire job is to tell people not to rent. And then I do, the polar opposite. So I'm like, well, I want to buy a home just to experience, what they're experiencing.
For sure. I think that has to do with like personal integrity, which is awesome. So you said something, Ed, you have a different perspective now. Mm-hmm. And I don't think anyone really knows what buying and selling real estate is like till you go through the process. As much as we may think we do, it's different when you're on the other side and you got the emotions flowing through you. So how has that changed your perspective in dealing with buyers and sellers?
Having all the documents ready for the pre-approval, getting that pre-approval sooner rather than later, so you know what you can afford. Going through the inspections, being there, seeing that in person and them telling you what this means, what that means. Not to worry about this, to worry about that, and like really get that perspective so you don't look like a hypocrite telling these people to either waive inspections, don't ask for this, to ask for this, what makes the home livable. So it definitely gives you a different perspective and understanding.
Yeah, like you're just seeing it all in their own point of view, which is nice, because obviously if I had no experience, I wouldn't know what kind of program I wanted for a mortgage or, with inspections, what I wanted to do with that. So just being able to really negotiate for myself has been really nice because now I can kind of see what my buyers want, where I'm like, okay, be more aggressive, Zara, like ask for this, do this and that. So I feel like that's helped a lot for sure.
I love that because you'll see agents when they're in transactions, and I've dealt with this when they're like principals, they don't take their own advice, or they psych themselves out, and it's like, well, but you're like, wait a minute, I wouldn't do this. And if you catch yourself, I think it's going to help you get where you want, which is becoming homeowners, which is awesome. So what advice do you have for people watching that maybe are having trouble hitting their goals, or maybe their goal's not big enough or it doesn't mean something to them? Because you guys did it, right? A lot of people don't get there in this business. We know what the numbers are and the washout rate. What advice do you have for the people watching that maybe want to get more invested in their goals or want to make sure they follow through on what they've already set for the year? Because you already beat the clock by 6+ months.
Honestly, I would keep talking about it. Talk it into existence, put that pressure on you. And because what if you don't do it? You look like an asshole. You don't do it. Your friend's like, oh, you haven't done this, you haven't done that. And you want to hold yourself accountable and let other people hold you accountable.
Yeah, I agree. Just having accountability partners along the way where he would really push me a lot, especially when I kind of give up along the way. He'd be like, no, like, think about your goal, you know? So having people remind you of it. And also for a while, you start sounding like a broken record if you're going to keep saying you're going to do something and then you don't do it. So,
Sure.
It's just so easy just to give up.
yeah.
Honestly, you could give up today, especially with this job. You go, all right, I'm done with this. Let me go on to a new career. That's why it is hard to stay in this career because of how easy it is to give up.
So you obviously like have to have it in writing so it's real, visualize it, and then have people to remind you of it.
Especially having to wait 2 years to get a pre-approval in our business.
It's
After the first year, it was great. Second year wasn't so good. Wanted my third year to be better, and it could have been so easy to quit after a second year. But I knew I had goals, things I wanted to do, and I knew I'd be mad at myself if I didn't commit and push through. At least give it one more chance, or another year, or another this, and talk to you about that on our business planning meetings. My goal has always been to buy a multifamily, take advantage of that, do 0% VA down, and you just did the same thing with you
Not a
saved for all
VA,
these
but yeah.
years, and no, but still, you used advantage of using your commission as a negotiation tactic, and it worked.
Yeah.
Well, what I love about what you're saying here is that you guys kind of gravitated towards each other because you had the same kind of goals, and that's where accountability partners kind of fail. It sounds like you kind of this happened naturally, but if someone's not as invested as you are, they're going to be a horrible accountability partner for you because then they don't do anything, right? So I love everything you're saying here and the fact that you're walking the walk, not just going through the motions.
Yeah.
There's so many inflators in this business that tell you they're doing great things and the numbers just don't add up. So these are the kind of agents I'd be modeling my career after because they've had sustained success, not just that lightning in a bottle. This has been years in the making. So congrats, you two. Super pumped.